Prophecy Chronicles with God's servant Yamkela Joseph. In this broadcast you will receive updates on prophecies which the Lord has spoken through his enabled servant.
Now family, the Lord spoke to me in the year of 2021 that beginning from that year, the Lord was going to expose the great amount of corruption in the judiciary of the nation of South Africa. Now the Lord spoke to me that corrupt judges will become the talk of the world as the Lord will begin to expose the hidden things in the judiciary of this nation. So in 2021 I prophesied about this, and many have seen it coming step by step. And I come again to you right now to emphasize to you that the South African judiciary is about to see the greatest rod of judgment. Wicked men, wicked judges that occupy the highest seats of the nation.
Mr. Jerome Joseph Mock MP, Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, P.O. Box 15, Cape Town, 00008. 1. I recently anonymously received the attached 54-page intelligence report purportedly drafted BYM's Thembizile Majola, the recently resigned Director General of the State Security Agency. 2. It contains highly shocking and damaging assertions that could affect the local and international integrity and reputation of the South African judiciary and several prominent judges, as well as have implications for the Judicial Conduct Committee and Legal Aid South Africa. Given the length of the report and the detail given therein, it strikes one as having been made of a considered mind, and that this information should be deemed of critical national importance. 4. I would therefore request that the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence should establish its veracity with Ms. Majola and/or with the Inspector General of Intelligence, and that it considers the content with the seriousness it deserves. Yours faithfully, Mr. Bantu Halamisa, MP, President of the United Democratic Movement.
Now, and the integrity of the country's judiciary has again been called into question. This follows a damning report by the former State Security Agency Director General, Thembizile Majola, implicating judges of alleged corruption. Now, the UDM leader, Bantu Halamisa, says the explosive claims cannot be ignored. Well, he joins us now after having written to the chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence in Parliament to probe the claims that are contained in this report. Mr. Halamisa, let me thank you very much for your time. Let's be perhaps circumspect as we deal with this, because you are saying that you've written to the chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence to not only authenticate but also investigate the contents of what you describe to be an explosive report. Have you received any responses yet from that committee?
Still too early. I sent the report yesterday afternoon. I guess the committee then, or the secretariat, will be meeting the chairperson or informed him wherever he is, and should be getting an acknowledgement at least today or tomorrow.
Yeah. The author of this report is the soon-to-be former State Security Agency Director General, Thembizile Majola. My understanding is that tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 30th, well, no, not quite the 30th. So tomorrow is the 29th, and so it should be Thursday, that is the 30th of November. That should be her last day in office. Have you contacted her to find out if indeed this is a report she drafted?
I did not do that. That is precisely why I used the word purportedly written by her. The onus is on the State Security, the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, to verify the authenticity of this authenticity or otherwise of this report.
Right now, as I'm speaking, the Lord spoke to me and said to me, watch over the security of the nation and pray. Because right now, as I say to you, I see a leak that is about to happen, very confidential leak of documents that's about to happen in the nation of South Africa, which shall cause a very serious security breach and a security problem. Begin to pray for the security services of the nation, that God begin to focus in the nation and heal the security services, because I see the nation's security services divided in three. The Lord says the nation's security shall be divided in three, and there is a leak of confidential documents that I see them beginning to leak, and leaked by those within the intelligence security of the nation.
You obviously are not going to tell us how you got to be in possession of this report, because you say yourself that you were given this report anonymously, and as you describe it, your description of it is that it contains, and I quote now, damaging assertions that could affect the integrity and reputation of South Africa's judiciary. Without getting into specifics, how compromising is this report from the judiciary?
Well, if what is written there, it says a lot. And whoever will be appointed to investigate, he or she will have to be methodologically clever and clear what he wants to verify. But so far, evidence given in that report, it should not be difficult for the inquiry, if it is going to be undertaken. It should not be difficult for that inquiry to come up with the truth of the whole matter. There is a prima facie evidence here which needs to be followed. Where he got it from, how he leaked it, and so on. But whether it's here or not, I was impressed with the references which have been made in that report. That on that year, that on that month, this is what we did, this is what the report says, we verify and authenticated. So it's a self-explanatory report.
As we conclude the conversation, Ms. Majola, we know now, as I referenced earlier, that she is going to be spending her last day in office on Thursday, the 30th of November. What have you been told of the reasons for her early departure? And I place emphasis on early.
Servant Yamkela Joseph has been released by God in the year of 2020 to publicly prophesy and speak to the nations of the world. Since then we have seen many prophetic fulfillment and events foretold before they happen in a very accurate and powerful way. If this generation is to believe, they should know that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
A night of justice at the courts of heaven, with God's enabled servant Yamkela Joseph. The 21st of October 2023, Mount Zion, Bula Conference Center, Germiston, Johannesburg. Let your case be judged by heaven. Don't miss it for anything. Register right now. Your ministry to the prophet. Donate now. Using these details,